guys, good morning. I'm here. I wasn't really gonna do a question and answer video, but I decided that since I got so many questions and everybody kind of wanted different types of things, I was like, I'm not gonna make different types of videos for all those types of things. I was just gonna merge it into one. So basically I got asked what would be my dream job, and my whole life I grew up knowing that I wanted to help people. I just didn't know exactly how. So I knew that I wanted to be a nurse, but I didn't know what type of nurse I wanted to be. But as I grew a little bit older, I decided I wanted to always work in a hospital. And now that I'm working in a hospital and been working in a hospital, my mind has changed. For about a year or so, I worked in a primary care setting. So I was a triage nurse. So basically a triage nurse is somebody that obviously takes the calls, triages the patients to see if they need to be seen emergently, if they need to be seen in our office, if they need to go to urgent care, do they need to go to the ER. And in that time, I got to know a lot of people and got to get a lot of resources. And I learned a lot about VNA and hospice and palliative care. And I never really knew. I was like, do I really want to do hospice? Can I do hospice? Do I have the passion, the desire to do hospice? And yeah, so basically my dream job is to work in hospice, but that's my short-term goal. My long-term goal is to become a nurse practitioner, and more than likely as a nurse practitioner, I'll stay working in hospice. What more is it to be with somebody in their dying days, to give them dignity, to give them courage, to give them strength, to, give them anything, and their families, because it's not only about the patient, it's about the family, because at the end of the day, not only is the family member dying, not only is the patient dying, but the family is, dealing with that, and it does take a lot of strength as a nurse to be able to do that every day. So yeah, my dream job is long-term nurse practitioner. Short-term is to, finish up my RN and to be a hospice nurse. Now, if that's with VNA, I'm not sure. I really don't know. She had asked me how I go to school, and church full-time. And that has been something that I've struggled with all along. You always want to feel like you're dispersing your time well. You want to make sure that you're, spending a lot of time in each area, and it's just impossible. Working 8 hours a day, going to school 4 to 6 hours a day, plus studying, plus praying, plus going to church. It's a lot. And nursing school is not a joke. When people tell you, they're studying for 6 to 7 hours, you study for 6 to 7 hours. You're, reading chapters, highlighting, outlining notes, you're reading PowerPoints, you're doing millions of things. You're doing test questions, you're using test bank questions, you're doing this, you're doing that. And at the same time, you're living a life. Not only do I have 3 full-time jobs, school, church, and work, I have to take care of my dad. He needs me to take him to appointments. He needs me to make appointments for him. He needs me to pick things up for him. He needs me to take him to the store. So I have 4 full-time jobs. So it's like I have, a child, that's my dad, and I have 3 full-time jobs. So it is very hard. How do I manage my time? I sacrifice big time. I sacrifice a lot. I wake up a lot of early mornings to pray. Earlier than I want to, earlier than I should, and then I get ready for the day. I get prepared. I do a lot of meal prepping, so if I'm gonna be at work, I'll prep my meal the night before. I'll prep my clothes the night before. I'll make sure that I have everything that I need. I make sure that my bag is packed for school. I'll make sure that everything is done and ready to go for the morning, so that when I get up, that I don't have any interruptions, or I don't have anything that gets in the way of getting ready. So yeah, it does take a lot. It is nothing easy, but nothing comes easy. So when you get a lot is expected of you. So I've learned to disperse my time. I've learned to grow. This is, made me a better person. And I have to say that God is the one that's brought me through school. A lot of people don't talk about that stuff, but honestly, I was told that I wasn't going to get any more student loans. I wasn't going to get anything without a cosigner, and I wasn't going to make it. You know, you always have those things that people put you down. But I have to say, for the last year, I've gotten scholarships and I've gotten grants that has paid for school. You know, obviously it doesn't pay for all the books, you know, because we know that nursing books are expensive, but it's gotten me through, and that, you know, faith is a big thing. Faith you can't see. So I believe it, and I get through it, and it's hard, and, you know, I cry, and, you know, nursing school isn't a joke. It's something to take seriously. You know, it's a job that you're supposed to be helping other people. You're supposed to be there to be like the mediator between a doctor and a nurse, you know, helping the patient. You do a lot. So yeah, definitely nursing school, working full-time in church is not easy. I wouldn't recommend it if you're not prepared and ready for it. But it's not impossible, because I'm doing it, and I thought I would never be able to do it. I did my LPN program, and to be honest with you, with my LPN program, I only worked for the first 4 months, 5 months, and then I had money saved. That is what got me through the rest of the 7 months that I had left. So yeah, it's definitely a different area now. I went from LPN to RN, and now in the RN program, I'm working, I'm going to church full time, I'm taking care of my dad, and I'm still doing it. And it's not really about what other people think about you, because, you know, people will critique you on everything. Someone will always find the negative in what you're doing. But, you know, I'm doing it, and I'm getting through it, and, you know, the long nights and all the things that come along with it, it's gonna all be worth it at the end. So I hope that answered your question. If you have any more questions, how long were you studying for, and how did you prepare? So my preparing purposes was that I obviously talked about it with friends and family, but first and foremost, I talked about it with God. My situation is a little bit different than others, and maybe people don't, but I wanted guidance to be sure that I was making the right steps and making sure that I was going the proper route. And yeah, I got brought to my RN program, and the preparation, you know, making sure that you spoke to people. Like, I have a roommate, so speaking to my roommate about financial things, because in school you never can really be prepared enough. You know, so many things have happened in my LPN program. I had a lot of things happen to me that I'll post in a later video that are more personal, but definitely I will post them up if people agree with that. But I had 3 major things that happened to me in my LPN program that weren't just little things. They were big things. And one of them was right around the time that I was taking my state boards, the NCLEX. So honestly, you can never be prepared for what's to come, but you can kind of set yourself up, kind of just like how I was, you know, saying earlier, that in the night before I get my stuff ready for class to make sure that I'm prepared, that nothing gets in the way. So it's kind of just to close all the doors, basically, to prepare yourself for things to happen, for you to lose a job, for you to get a divorce, for you to get, you know, a bunch of different things. Preparing yourself financially, just to know like exactly how much money it's going to cost you to be in nursing school, because, you know, it's all good and gravy when it's just, you know, like, let's say $10,000 a year or $20,000 a year, but that doesn't entice other things that come about, like books, uniforms, stethoscopes. They, you know, do random things throughout the school that money is involved. So, you know, if that's going to be an issue, definitely always be ready and prepared for childcare. I don't have any children myself, but I know plenty of people that are having issues with their clinical schedules and their rotations, because it's not always guaranteed that if you're in a day program that you're going to get daytime clinical hours. And if you're in a nighttime program, you're not always guaranteed to have nighttime clinicals. So you have to be not only prepared for your job, but you need to be prepared for your family. You know, I don't know, some people may be married, may have significant others. But yeah, like you have to be prepared for those things. You have to have a plan B, a plan C, a plan D, a plan E. All of the letters of the alphabet you have to have in nursing school, because you're never going to be prepared for what is to come. so we just got our schedule for our nursing rotation for January, and there's some people that are in the nighttime clinicals, and they're having a hard time, finding babysitters, people to watch their children, work. You just never know what you're gonna get into. And also myself, I work every other weekend at my job. I'm mandated to, and I have clinicals for 3 Sundays in a row. You have to be prepared for those things. You have to be prepared to leave a job. You have to be prepared to get another job. You have to be prepared to not work at all. You kind of have to just have that trust that everything's going to be okay and it's all working out for the good. Because if you're negative all the time, then you're not really going to get anywhere. As in for studying, I'll be honest with you, studying is crazy. I probably have to say that I studied on edge at least 2 hours a day. At least. And that's after school, not while in school. Most of the time, I would go to the library after and do test questions and read my chapter, highlight, outline, all that. But when it came time to right around a test taking time, me and a group of girls that I'm friends with from my school, we would get together and we would spend 4 or 5 hours at the library highlighting, going over questions, putting things into scenarios, writing on the whiteboard, everything. Like we did everything. Right around finals time, I think that we were at the library every single day. Like we didn't leave the library. The whole week of finals, we had our final on Thursday, and I had off from that Friday. I worked that Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. I had off because I wanted complete time for my finals, which I passed with an 82. Thank God for that. But yeah, so it's not easy. Really, it's not. You'll never be prepared. You'll probably never study enough. Out of 100 questions, I got an 82. And I thought I was like, that was great. But some people got 90s. Some people, got 80s, 90s, really good. Like, you have to study a lot because they'll literally give you a question that's on page 992 in one of the tables, or one of the boxes, or one of the questions in one of the books that they give you that they want you to read. Like we have these little easy to read or easy to understand books that they would be like a question from there. So you never know. So yeah, definitely being prepared is never really, it's not there. It's not 100% accurate, but I hope that answers your question. So the next question that I got asked was what items I purchased. Now, these items are items that weren't necessary. They weren't my mandated required items. They were just items that I purchased on my own. So my first item was the Fundamentals for Success by Davis. So this was one of my second purchases besides my books. Really helped me with test taking. The first time around my first test, I used just Prep U and used my book and my PowerPoints, and I found that one was, it was good. I got a 78 on my test, obviously, but I felt like I was missing something. So I got this around right after my second test, and I started using it. Let me tell you, it was a lifesaver. I loved it. You always need to have some type of test questions because these have test taking questions that are similar to what's going to be on the test and how the question's going to be worded so that you know what you can have and be prepared for what is to come. Next, I have note cards, and as you can see, they're all different colors. These note cards I use for my meds, so you can, I haven't done it for the next semester, but for next semester what I'm going to do is I'm going to divide them up into colors, the medications, just because med-surg is a little bit different and so is in PD. So we're doing maternity and doing med-surg, so obviously you want to have different types of colors for different types of categories of medications, so that they're easy to find. I also have little ringlets to put in them, so I'll punch holes and probably laminate them just so that they don't get ruined, because obviously we know in the nursing world things get ruined really easily. Next would be, this is for next semester, but it's this from Davis. It's the maternity and newborn success. So I had really good with the fundamentals success. So honestly, I'm gonna keep going with the Davis. They were recommended, but were not required. So, you know, I got them anyways, just because honestly, the fundamentals really helped me last semester with my test taking skills. Also got the med-surg, of course, a recommended item from Davis, but definitely is a big help. And obviously, if you look, they have a Davis Drug Guide Plus in here that you can go in and you can do some questions online. Also, thanks to my friend Emily, Lova, she recommended this one, this doozy. This is NCLEX Sanders Comprehensive Review, edition 7. Obviously, you can get other editions. You can get ones from another bookstore used. I just got it cheap at Barnes & Noble. Love Barnes & Nobles. I basically ordered everything online and they did all the picking up for me, and I just picked it up right at the register. Love it. Didn't charge me any extra. Definitely handy dandy pen collector. Let me tell you, this thing is chock full. I'm not going to open it completely because it will dump out everywhere. But in here I got highlighters, I have pencils, I have pens, I have expo markers, permanent markers, different colored pens. I'm a person that likes to write my notes in class with different colors, just to kind of keep it different and keep it like going in a different formula. Next will be my nice bag here. It's a duffel bag. I got it for free for purchasing stuff from Victoria's Secret, but you can really get anything anywhere. It's quite big. But I got that for school so that I could have different things to put in there. I don't buy my books personally. I did last semester, and let me tell you, the fundamentals book is huge, and it's too heavy. I'm not trying to kill my back before I'm 40. So yeah, I got that, and I just basically put in my notebooks and my pens and my wallet and other things that I'll need, water bottle and stuff like that. But I take my laptop with me. I buy the Prep U codes, the course point. It's a little bit expensive, but it works out better because you can get the ebook, plus have Prep U, and plus have all the same things just in the laptop form. Some people can read a book online and some people cannot. I am one that I thought that I couldn't, but after last semester, I realized that I had Prep U for my fundamentals as well as I had my book, and I didn't want to carry my book because it was too heavy. So the med-surg book was bigger than the fundamentals book, so I said, you know what, I'm just going with the course point Prep U. So that's what I bought for my maternity, and I bought for my fundamentals. So that being said, next up is this little bad boy. So this is Erin Condren Life Planner. I will go over more on what's in the inside. I'll add that in. But basically this just is, let me grab all my stuff out of there, actually. That's my schedule for next semester for maternity and med-surg. But yeah, so this is what the life of Amanda is like. It looks crazy, right? Yeah. That's my work schedule, my church schedule, and my school schedule. So this is January to come, and look at it's already full. So yes, this is a must. This is Erin Condren. Some people, you know, say you're crazy to buy it, but I love it. It was worth the money. I only actually ended up spending, like, I want to say $25 for this. I think I spent an extra $5 because I upgraded to the going to December of 2019, just because I got it in like half the year of December 2018. So I was like, I'll pay the extra $5. But basically, they call it the Life Planner. And basically it literally has horizontal lines so that you can actually write things in, and then it has the monthly calendar. So to keep yourself organized, you need to be organized, you need to write things down, because what ended up happening last semester was that people didn't even remember that we, you know, had testing on one of these days, but I wrote it in my calendar on the, like, I think it was like the third day of class, she said it. And obviously coming down to the finals, we're more worried about other things. And then she's like, oh yeah, we have class next week. And everyone's like, I work, I can't come, you know, like running around like a chicken with our head cut off over here. But this, you can get any planner anywhere. Like I said, I only spent like, I think $25 plus shipping. But Erin Condren, I'd get it. They're like $45, but I only paid $25. If you sign up for their reward program and you like them on Facebook, like them on YouTube, like them on Instagram, they give you like a $10 off coupon. And then at the same time that I had a $10 off coupon, their whole website was 20% off. So $25 for this, and it's gonna last me throughout the whole year of, you know, finish off 2018 plus last me all the way to the end of 2019. Best purchase I made. Again, you can customize it. I have my name down there. But yeah, and you can customize the colors. You look, this is with the back. And if you look at this, you can use an expo marker on this. This is kind of like plastic, and then you can wipe it down. Like if you just have a quick note to write in there. Love it. Best purchase. I also purchased this. Well, actually, this was a gift, let me say, from my boss. Love her. So basically, this is just a calendar, a wall calendar, or a desk calendar. Right now, I'm in the process of getting my desk together in my own room because trying to study and having one computer room is really hard, so I'm getting a desk for my own room. But this will, right now it's on my wall. I mount it on my wall, basically for everyone to know my schedule, because, you know, you have a roommate and a best friend, and they're like, I don't even know where you are anymore. You know, nursing school is crazy, so you don't know if you're at work, you're at school, you're here, you're there. So basically what I do with that is I write down my exam schedule, I write down my work schedule, I write down what class I'm going to be in till what time, you know, just to kind of keep everything communicated, not only on that calendar, but I also take things from there. So, you know, I hope that helped. Also, let me see. I think I had a few other items that I wanted to show you guys. I always keep some Kleenex. These are wipes for your hands and for everything else. They're antibacterial. Love them. I'm a couponer, so these things come in handy. I think I paid like 25 cents for these. Also, this is a little notebook. Not a notebook, a folder, but the folder is one of those folders that has the 3-hole punch. And what I use, and this is like my favorite thing, I love them, is these sleeves. So this is like just stuff that I keep in there, like some personal stuff. I'm the class president of our class, so a lot of this stuff in here is stuff that I need for them, for the club. Also, I also have some stuff in here that I keep for the grant program that I'm in. So it's kind of like just to keep the big personal stuff. Everything else I kind of take out and then I organize. I'm in the process of also getting a filing cabinet for all my notes and things like that, because again, I don't want to throw it away because I know that someone could use them or things like that. So I'm in the process of doing that, but this just really has like my important stuff in it. Obviously notebooks, I have tons of those, but I actually learned, I don't know if anybody has a laptop, if they have PowerPoint on it, but if you have a laptop, I have a MacBook, but they have in the PowerPoint that you can type into the PowerPoint. Now, I don't write that fast, as everybody else, but I type faster. So what I do is when I'm in class, I basically type up all the notes that basically they're going over in the PowerPoint that they're talking about. I write in whatever they haven't written down. And when I get home, I transfer that into a notebook. So I basically, my hand is putting it to paper so that I can learn, because I'm that type of learner that I actually have to write it to remember it. So yeah, while I'm in class, I type it up, then I zoom it on over, save it, and then I basically, when I get home or to the library or wherever I'm going, I write it all down, and there you go. You know, I'm memorizing it. It's the constant repetition basically that makes you learn it. And you can use note cards, whatever works in your favor. Some people do note cards, some people do writing of the notes, some people just do test questions, some people read the book, test questions, write things down. I'm basically a learner that before I go into class, I read the PowerPoint and I read the chapter. Now, sometimes I skim the chapter, sometimes I highlight, you know, the big things. It just depends on what subject you're covering. Like fluid and electrolytes, you have to read the chapter in the PowerPoint before you go in. It's just, fluid and electrolytes is so much stuff put into one, you have to. But yeah, so that's it for today, guys. I hope that answered all your questions. I'm so grateful for all the support that I've been getting. I